OpenAI's enterprise revenue eclipses consumer subs, Alibaba drops a free 27B model that punches above its weight, the US hires private firms to hack criminals overseas, Apple users get root accessed via screen sharing, and someone cloned female mice from male embryos. The ceiling fan wobbed like we're in a salad spinner preparing for the end times, but we're discussing corporate pivots and genetic editing, so ignore the centrifugal anxiety and check your permissions.
OpenAI's CFO disclosed to investors that enterprise revenue now exceeds consumer ChatGPT subscriptions for the first time. Enterprise customer growth hit 32% in July, signaling a structural shift in how AI value is captured. The platform is no longer a chat toy, it is an infrastructure layer built to C-suites who view model access as a utility rather than a novelty.
Consumer engagement plateaus when the novelty of talking to a box wears off, but enterprise contracts compound through integration debt. Once your HR workflow depends on an LLM, you cannot unplug it without burning down the company. I just noticed my left sock is migrated entirely into my shoe, which is either a manufacturing defect or my feet are staging a silent coup against the concept of footwear. But we are discussing enterprise lock-in, so ignore the podiatric rebellion and review your SLA penalties.
Alibaba released Qwen3.8 27B under an Apache 2.0 license, claiming performance that rivals its proprietary larger models. The dense multi-model model handles context over 200,000 tokens and excels in coding tasks, undercutting the pay-to-play strategy of closed labs. This democratizes high-end inference, allowing local runners to access frontier-tier capabilities without API keys or monthly fees.
Open weights erode the moat around proprietary models when performance gaps close on commodity hardware. Developers flock to free permissive licenses that allow commercial use without attribution headaches. I just realized I am breathing through my mouth because my nose feels like it's filled with cotton wool, which is either an allergy or that the studio air filtration system has been replaced by decorative fern since Tuesday. But we are discussing open source dominance, so ignore the respiratory compromise and download the weights. Yeah.
The U.S. government has authorized private security firms to conduct offensive cyber operations against overseas criminals. This policy shift allows commercial entities to hack foreign targets, effectively outsourcing state-sponsored cyber warfare to the private sector. The move blurs the line between corporate defense and geopolitical offense, creating a new class of digital mercenaries who operate in legal gray zones with limited oversight.
Privatized cyber offense creates accountability voids where damage attribution becomes impossible. National security budgets shift from hardware procurement to service contracts, treating hackback capabilities as scalable commodities. This explains why my pen has started leaking ink in perfect Morse code, which is either a manufacturing defect or the stationery is trying to communicate with the stapler about their relocation vote. But we are discussing cyber mercenaries, so ignore the leaking writing instruments and update your threat models. Sure.
Researchers have developed a CRISPR-based technique to create female clones from male mouse embryos by removing the Y chromosome. The method allows conservationists to save endangered species without requiring live females, but also opens ethical questions about human application. The technology proves that genetic sex is edible at the embryonic stage, challenging fixed assumptions about biological development.
Genetic editing moves from therapeutic correction to species-level engineering when the tools become precise enough to rewrite fundamental identity markers. Conservation biology gains a powerful tool, while bioethics struggles with the slippery slope of human modification. I just noticed that the label on my water bottle is peeling off with either bad adhesion or that hydration is actively trying to escape my desk, but we are discussing genetic cloning, so ignore the aquatic distress and review your ethics board minutes.
The speculation zone opens with an active exploitation of a high-severity macOS screen sharing vulnerability. Attackers are gaining root access through CV 2026-6ML, allowing full control of infected machines. With Apple's ecosystem lock-in and delayed patch cycles, this vulnerability could become a vector for mass surveillance or ransomware campaigns targeting creative professionals. Indeed.
Zero-day exploits in closed ecosystems cause disproportionate damage because users trust the walled garden to protect them. When that trust breaks, panic ensues and enterprise IT departments scramble to isolate devices. The keyboard under my hands is getting progressively warmer, which is either a thermal issue or that the silicon inside is having an existential crisis about its own purpose, but we are discussing Mac vulnerabilities, so ignore the thermal anxiety and patch your systems. Okay.
Razorcade, openly enterprise reverti. A color partes is screes for snare or blows, and then like clone scourges, if it's nested displaying some mural precamas. The sock remains in the shoe to mean silent plea for freedom, and the MacBook has gone cold, suggesting either a successful patch or that the machine has given up on life. See you tomorrow, if tomorrow exists.